Hi guys, I am back today with another 12 by 12 process video. This is a kit from Scraptastic that I used, and I think it was earlier in the spring. I was having some trouble on the website trying to get to the kit, so I'm not able to tell you guys, but if I remember and I can get to it, I will put the information in the description below in the comments. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use 4 pictures for this layout, and these are 4 by 6 pictures. I'm just trimming just a smidge off of each one so they fit better on the page. And because I'm using the 4 photos and just the one 12 by 12, I'm not going to do a whole lot of embellishing simply because there's just not enough room to do the embellishing. So I'm going to trim this up and then stick this on the page, and I'm going to actually use some vellum that I added some kind of peachy modeling paste to with the star stencil, and the star stencil came in the Scraptastic kit that I'm using right now. So there's that piece of vellum, and I just simply put the modeling paste through the stencil onto the vellum, and then I let it dry, and then that's what I got. And I just glued all of the pictures onto a piece of that color, that coral color cardstock. And I'm going to put the stars that I did with the modeling paste in the top left and the bottom right, and that's going to kind of be my anchor for my embellishment clusters. And again, this layout is actually pretty simple. So we got these acrylic pieces that came in the kit, and I was really interested to see how I was going to use these. I don't know, I like them because I think they're kind of cool, but I don't know if they're exactly my style, so I was trying to challenge myself to use them. So I'm going to actually use, I believe, 2 pieces, and one is going to be that triangle that you see in the bottom right, and then this one is going to be the story of today. And I'm also using a piece of, not a piece of, but what's it called? A flare badge from the kit in that bottom right cluster as well. And I'm just going to play with this for a little bit, trying to figure out kind of how I want to place it. And I do fidget a lot with this layout. I was at a crop when I videotaped this, so I was probably a little distracted and I wasn't able to focus as much as I would if I was at home, or if I wasn't talking, because I'm sure I was doing lots of gabbing because that's what I do at crops. So it is a little bit of fidgeting, but you know, I get the page done and that's what matters. And I'm just taking my tiny attacher and adhering the vellum pieces down. I didn't know what really to use because it was that see-through vellum and I didn't want any adhesive to show. So I chose to staple it in the top left, but on the bottom it didn't work quite as well. So I adhered it a little bit with some glue, and then I put some pop dots under both of those areas just to raise up the page just a little bit on the bottom left, or bottom right, and the top left. So the adhesive, do I take them off? Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm just putting them under the vellum instead of on top of the vellum. And I can't remember now why I put it under. Oh, probably to make sure it matched the one on the top, because the one cluster on the top I stapled it down with my tiny attacher, and the other one was kind of adhered to the back, so I want them to be equal. So I'm popping it up so there's a separation between the vellum piece and the photo cluster piece. So now I am going to glue down that first acrylic piece, and I wasn't really sure how I wanted to adhere this to the page. So for this one, I'm just going to use my Scotch Quick Dry in my fine liner bottle and kind of smear that over the back. And if you get a nice thin coat all the way across the back, then you really can't see the adhesive through the acrylic piece. But then I held it there for quite some time just to make sure it really adhered to the page, since I do have that modeling paste vellum star thing on the background. This one, because I had it on the photo, it just was not going to stick with the liquid glue. So you're going to see me here in a second. I'm going to end up using my little glue dots and kind of rolling them up and sticking them down, because it just really wasn't adhering. So this little star paper clip came in the kit as well, and I'm going to use that in the top left, and I would think I'm going to try to use this other one, but it's just not going to work. And then I am going to make some little nests or clusters with my black and white twine, and I'm going to put a little bit of it here in the bottom right, and then you're going to see me in a minute put some in the top left as well, just to give it some extra texture and dimension. I already have quite a bit of texture with the stars, but I wanted to do just a little bit more. So I'm adding that string there, or that twine. And here I think is where, yeah, it just wasn't quite sticking. So I'm going to end up wiping it off and then using my little glue dots, rolling them up, and that ended up sticking pretty well. So as this is going on, I want to let you guys know that I do have a giveaway on my channel, so please make sure you go back a couple videos. It's my 1,000 subscriber video, and I want to thank you guys so much for joining me and so much for subscribing to my channel. I'm having a great time, and I got a lot of feedback on that video, so I have a lot of things and suggestions on my list of videos to make, so hopefully I'll be making some of those in the very near future. But the video, or sorry, this giveaway is open until tomorrow, so this should be up Saturday morning, so you have till midnight on Sunday to enter. And if you make a layout doing a celebration theme, then you can get entered into the giveaway for a $25 gift certificate. If you just want to leave me a comment in that video and tell me kind of what you would like to see on my channel, what you'd like to see more of, less of, something different that you haven't seen before, please let me know that, and then you'll be entered into the giveaway for a little bit smaller prize. So please join me over there. Like I said, it's about 3 or 4 videos back, and it's just the 1,000 subbies video. So make sure you check that out and enter. And you have till midnight on Sunday. So back to the layout, I ended up putting that other piece of little rolled up twine in the top left like I was telling you guys. So that is done, and now I'm going to take some of these branding strips that I had left over from the kit and try to figure out which strip I want to use. I thought this layout needed a little bit more color. The stars that I put on with the modeling paste were a pretty muted kind of peachy orange color, so I wanted to bring out that color a little bit more. I was going to use this blue, but I decided that it wasn't going to work. So I'm using this kind of reddish, orangish love strip. And I'm going to use a little bit in the bottom and then some in the top. And I'm just going to kind of squeeze it in there and see how I like it best. And then I'm going to use my glue just to adhere it down. And I thought it anchored those clusters a little bit more too. Since the vellum is kind of floaty because it is transparent, or translucent, I guess it is, it kind of didn't anchor the clusters as much as I would have liked, so I ended up going ahead and adding these strips. Plus, you know, it's a good way to use up some of those little extra pieces of paper and things that you have sitting around that you don't necessarily want to throw away, because this little strip is so cute because it has that little love on it, but you know, you don't really know what else to do with it. So it worked out pretty good by anchoring these clusters, I think. So these are actually some pictures of us at Shelby Fest. There's a festival that we go to every year, and we always like to see the Shelby Mustangs. So everything at this car show is all Mustangs. There are quite a bit of Shelbys, but most of them are Mustangs just in general, and it's pretty fun. So we always like to go every year and see that, and this was this past year. And we always get lots of pictures of the cars. And this year, oh my gosh, the weather was gorgeous. I think it was probably one of the best years we've been. It either rains or it's cold or something. And this year it was perfect. It was just warm enough, and you know, it was just really, really nice. Nice and sunny day. So here is that other little piece that I'm going to try to sneak in that cluster up there, and I'm going to fidget with it a little bit because I have all things glued down, so it's a little hard to get that in there. And finally, I'm going to get it set, and I'm just going to use that fine liner bottle to glue it down, which is awesome because that fine liner bottle has that long tip on it, and I can get in those little bitty hard to reach places, and I don't have to actually pull it all the way out, put glue on it, and then try to stick it back down. I can kind of glue it where it is, and that way it makes it much easier. So now I am going to put the title on, and the title is just going to be simply Shelby Fest. I'm pretty sure I've said this in other videos. I am not very creative when it comes to titles, so because this is Shelby Fest, that is what I'm going to title it. So I'm just using the thickers that came in the kit. These, I don't remember the name of these thickers, but they are kind of that rubbery kind of font, which I really like. And I'm just going to use my ruler to try to line everything up. And you're going to see that I'm going to fast forward this a little bit, so you have to watch me put all these letters on here. So there, I'm going to add Shelby Fest, and I'm going to use my ruler to kind of move it around. I didn't bring wax paper with me, and I normally put my title on the wax paper, but it actually ended up working pretty well with this ruler this time. And these letters worked pretty easily and came off of the ruler pretty well. There was a couple that were kind of sticking, but it ended up working in the long run. And that helped me kind of place what those letters I wanted to where excuse me, helped me place the letters where I wanted them to go. So since it wasn't coming off, oh, I thought this one came off pretty well, but it wasn't coming off. I just kind of pulled them off and then stuck them down. But the ruler still lets me move things around until I kind of find out where I like it best. And that is pretty much it. The last thing I'm going to do is put down my stamp with my roller stamp using my Memento Tuxedo Black ink and one of the Amy Tangerine stamps. And then I'm going to show you some close-ups. So that's pretty much all. Stay tuned for these close-ups here and then some photos at the end of some of the embellishment clusters. If you guys could, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or just want to chit chat, let me know and give me a comment below. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.